The first step is to write your script, and when you have your script written, you're going to want to record your voice. So we'll simply go down here and press the record button. Now you'll notice that this is the recording, but it's also showing it down here in the details. When there's no sound, you get a plain flat line, but as my voice gets louder and louder, this goes up very far. This is going to help you identify what it is you're saying and when you're saying it. So that when we go to drag our pictures over here, we put them right where they're supposed to go. Okay, that should work. If you hit play, it'll simply stop it right there. You can continue recording like now I can continue recording, and there shouldn't be much of a difference. We'll hit play again to stop it. And I can drag the red slider. This is very important. You can see when you move it down here, it also moves above. So I'll put it back here and we'll listen to the playback. If you hit play, now I can continue recording, and there shouldn't. This button down here with the line and the arrow will bring it back to the beginning. Okay, you can see this purple line is our recording, but if I click off of it, it disappears down below. It took me about a half hour one day to figure out that I have to click on the track to bring this up. Okay, so what we'll do is we listen to this and press the record button. Now you'll notice that this is the recording, but it's also showing it down here. Okay, so as the red slider goes over this bump, I notice it says here. I can check that by bringing it back a little bit and listening again. Bring it down here in the detail. Okay, so let's say that right there I say something such as whitewater rafting. I go over and select my picture, I click it, and drag it over. Now you'll notice the picture has a gray or a black line. If you want to line up the picture with right where you have it marked down below on your voice track, you want them to overlap just like you see right here. Release it, and it puts the picture right in. Now if you choose the podcast track and it's highlighted, down below here you will get to see what different pictures you have. They'll call them chapters. If you want to edit the picture and how much is seen and how big it is, you can double click it as I just did. Double click and this brings this up. You can zoom in to one particular part with this. You can zoom out to get the entire picture, and you can move it around to just get basically whatever you like. And we'll click set and that'll save it. If you notice, the picture goes on for a while, but that'll change when you put a new picture in. It cuts off the first one. Let's look at the end. You can see my recording stops here, but the picture goes on. So what you can do is find this little arrow. If I hover over it, it'll tell you that this arrow is the set endpoint of the project. We can bring that forward by simply clicking and dragging, and it'll eventually get back to the beginning and put this near the end of our voice recording, so the pictures won't go any farther than that. Now if you want to get rid of a photograph, let's say I've changed my mind on this one, I can simply click it and highlight it and click delete on the keypad. I can put a new picture in its place. This one should only be to the end. Yeah, we set the end point with the arrow right here, and it goes just to where we told it to. Well, if you want to watch and see what you have so far, you can click on this. This is the preview key. Just click on it one time, and we can bring this back to the beginning and watch our podcast. And press the record button. Now you'll notice that this is the recording, but it's also showing it down here in the details. When there's no sound, you get a plain flat line. X out of there. Now you'll notice that when it began, there was nothing in here. Whenever there's a gap in the pictures, for instance, I can slide this over and create a little gap, or I can go to the end and bring this back quite a ways, like here if I choose to. To put a picture in that gap, sort of a running title slide, that's what this is for over here. This is called the episode artwork. The picture you put over here should sum up everything that the whole thing is about. So I'm just going to take a picture such as my 3rd grade school picture and drag it right there. And I can do the same thing by clicking on this. I can zoom in on me right there in the red sweatshirt in the middle and click set. Now if we go back to the beginning by clicking this button again and we preview, it'll stay on that picture until it reaches this spot when I say here. Let's try it out. And press the record button. Now you'll notice that this is the recording, but it's also showing it down here in the... one more little thing, you can take a picture and put it right in here, and just because it disappears right here or gets smaller, it doesn't change anything. In fact, we could take this picture and scoot it way over. That picture will still be there, it just won't appear for as long a time. For instance, if we take our slider over here and we play, also showing it down here in the details, you can see it just flashes.